it going, everyone? I hope you're having the most wonderful day. Hope you like that little intro there. It's based off of a current rumor going around YouTube, and you all know how YouTube loves rumors. So what is that rumor? Let's get right into it and I'll explain totally. First off, a little bit of history for those that are new to the channel or don't know anything about the Camaro. So far there's been 6 generations, okay? The first one, called the first generation, was from 67 to 1969. The next generation, the second generation, was from 1970 to 1981. The third generation is from 82 to 92. The fourth generation was from 93 to 2002. The fifth generation come along in 2010. Because they actually stopped production for a while after the fourth gen and brought it back in 2010, and it lasted to 2015. The sixth generation is 2016 till now. Okay. Now the latest rumor is, and this is a guy that he's a first time poster on one of the Corvette forums that I watch. I like keeping up on all forums of cars and stuff, so yes, I look on Camaro forums too, but he's a first time poster. Excuse me. And he says that he has inside knowledge to this and that and that and this. And he swears that 2021 that the Corvette will be moved up in grace, if you will, to take on Ferraris and stuff like that, and there's going to be a void, you know, as GM's top performing line, and that's going to be the Camaro. Supposedly it's going to be the 7th generation Camaro. Do I believe it? I don't know. I'm going to give you these opinions and you can form your own, okay? Now so far there's been no rumors of there being one outside of this guy. There's been no leaked pictures. There's been no leaked videos. And you know how YouTube is, and you know how GM is, and Chevrolet is in general. They will leak stuff out ahead of time. You know, you can't wait till 2019 or 2020 and redo the Camaro completely. Start in the same year you're going to produce it. You always got to be constantly thinking a couple years ahead, you know. And if you saw this video up here, to where I mentioned that it's time, the 6th gen has run its course, okay? It's time for a complete redo of the car, the next generation, if you will. But what Chevrolet has done is they put in a few changes here. They've redone the hood, redone a few curves here and there. And the most striking thing is they redid the front end and the rear end. Nobody really likes the front end. So I think they're going to redo it and put the bow tie back up to where it was. But why all this is important is, I'll get to that in a second. But there's been no pictures released, no spy shots, no spy videos, no spy photos, no nothing, no rumor mill or anything outside of this one guy. Okay? So that leads us to the death of the Camaro. They're doing away with it. And there is some facts to back that up. If you're into that kind of stuff. Like I said, there's been no spy shots, there's not been any rumors, there's not been any spy videos or anything except for that one guy. And they even took the head designer, or chief designer if you will, Al Oppenheiser, and they transferred him. Now whether they did it or whether he requested to do it, I don't know. But they transferred him over to the electric car side of GM, because GM has announced that they're going to focus on their all electric cars, and with good reasons, because the car sales in general have been down. And Camaro, when they released their 5th generation, beat out the Ford Mustang hands down. I mean, they were beating everybody. They was whooping everybody. Okay, they beat out everybody on 5th gen. Now when they went over to the 6th gen, sales started declining. And they've steadily declined to where Mustang has once again took over the lead. And I can understand that, you know, for several reasons. The main one being is the European design of the Camaro doesn't strike everybody as a car they want. Second reason is that the Mustang GT can be bought for, you know, quite a few $1,000s less than the Camaro. And for a few $1,000s more that they put into the car, it can spank the Camaro's butt on the course, on the drag strip, wherever you want to put it, because the Mustang reacts very well to modifications. Okay, so all these things lead and point to GM and Chevrolet doing away with the Camaro. Do I think that's really going to happen? I don't know. Here's some things to lead to the thought that I think of they might do away with it for a little while, like they did between the 4th and the 5th gen, and take a year or two of hiatus to develop a particular car that I'm going to talk about in a second. Or they could be working on it now and we just don't know about it. And here's the reason I say that. 2018 SEMA, they released the Copo Camaro. And what is special about this? The Copo Camaro is all electric. Yes, you heard me right. An all electric Camaro. And I'll insert the video clip here. Pretty neat, huh? Real quiet, real fast. You know, any electric car is going to be really fast, because look at the Tesla models. I mean, they tear up the strip. I mean, you can take a bone stock Tesla, put it on the drag strip, especially the quarter mile, against any car out there, and it will leave it in the dust. Now, sure, by the end of the drag strip, the other cars will pass them. But out of the whole, I mean, you got to think, you've got instant full power to an electric motor. Now, why am I making such a big deal out of this, you may ask? There's no rumors of the 7th gen outside of the one guy. They released the 2018 all-electric Copo Camaro. There's been no other talk about it. There's not been any other signs of it. And Al Hoppenizer, the chief engineer of the Camaro, who is a true Camaro guy, a true muscle car, performance car type of guy, has now moved over to the all-electric line of cars. Now, I wasn't the best in math, and I sure don't understand new math. It's way over my head. But these things are adding up big time in my mind. So with all of this said, and with all of this going back and forth, you know, what do I think? I think that Chevy, number one, needs to make a good looking electric car, because currently outside of Tesla there is none. And I really don't even like the looks of the Tesla. So they need to make a good looking designed Camaro. I mean, good looking designed all-electric car, because they've done away with basically all of their lines of vehicles outside of the SUV market and the truck market. And Chevy has a poor history of doing stuff. What do I mean by that? They'll take a car and run it for a couple years. You know, they'll come up with an idea, they'll put it out there, they'll run it for a year or two, and then they do away with it if people don't buy it. Rather than improving on it or taking what people say they don't like about it and working upon that and fixing it, like Toyota did with the Civic. I mean, not the Civic. Like Toyota did with their cars, Honda did with their cars. You know, they first put them out there, they're as ugly as dog sin, you know. Oh, they were ugly, but they've improved on them to where both of those cars are now top-ranked cars. Safety, performance, sales, you know. Chevy doesn't do that, or GM doesn't do that. They'll take a car, put it out there for a couple of years, like the SF. What happened to that? Now the Impala's going bye-bye, you know. They have a history of not wanting to devote to a car and improving on it. They think they're going to find this one-hit wonder and throw it out there, and it's going to be the cure-all to save the company, and it's just not going to do it. So, with all this said, my opinion is, I don't know if they're going to do away with the Camaro for a year or two like they did before, or they're working on something spectacular behind the scenes. But I do not think that it's the end of the Camaro. I do not think that it's going to be the death of it like it was the Pontiac Trans Am or Pontiac in general, you know. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that GM is probably working behind the scenes on a all-electric Camaro. And that's just my opinion by what I've seen. I've heard it gone both ways. I hear this one guy say that it's going away, and I hear this one guy saying that it's not going away. So I read between the lines. Right in here, the gray area. And I come up with my own opinion that I think that they're going to make the Camaro all electric. Am I right? Am I wrong? What do you guys think? Put your ideas, your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think they should do away with it? What would you change? Let's hear your opinions. But with all that said, all that done, I hope you guys have a most wonderful day. Get out there and enjoy your cars, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.